In this lecture, we are going to discuss about Lorentz half-shade polarimeter. In the previous lecture, we discussed about the optical activity of various substances. That is, there are some substances like the sugar solution which rotates the plane of the polarized light. That rotates the plane of polarization of the plane polarized light. And the Lorentz half-shade polarimeter, this optical instrument is actually used to measure the angle of rotation, the angle by which the plane of polarization gets rotated when the light passes through an optically active substance, when a plane polarized light passes through an optically active substance. So polarimeters are the optical instruments designed to measure the angle of rotation of plane polarized light after passing through an optically active substance like sugar solution. And the polarimeter is called as saccharimeter when we use sugar solution, when we are finding the optical rotation of a sugar solution. So that polarimeter is specifically termed as saccharimeter. Now what is the construction of Lorentz half-shade polarimeter? So in this we have a source. Then we have a polarizer. So we have a source. So usually there is a sodium lamp. So sodium lamp emits the yellow light, and that light is made to fall on the lens. And hence we get a parallel beam of light which is falling on a polarizer. So here we have a Nicol prism which acts as a polarizer because the light which is coming from this source is not plane polarized. So this Nicol prism is used to polarize. It is used to plane polarize the incoming light. So the light which goes out of this Nicol prism is a plane polarized light. And what will be the plane of vibration of electric field? That will be parallel to the principal section of the Nicol prism. So whatever is the direction of the principal section of the Nicol prism, that direction will be the vibration of the electric field of the outgoing light. And then this plane polarized light is made to fall on a half shade device. So we will see what is the working of this half shade device in a minute. So the plane polarized light is first made to fall on a half shade device, and then the outgoing light passes through a tube which is filled with an optically active substance, for example the sugar solution. And then the outgoing light, the plane polarized light that comes out of this tube, that light will have its vibrations rotated by a certain angle, because the substance which we have in this tube is an optically active substance. So this substance has the capability of rotating the plane of polarization of the incoming light. So the outgoing light will have its plane of polarization rotated by a certain angle. And after that, the outgoing light will be made to fall on another Nicol prism which will act as an analyzer. So this Nicol prism is used to find the direction. In actual, this will be used to find the angle by which the plane of polarization has rotated. So this prism will act as an analyzer, and after that we have an eyepiece. So when you will rotate the Nicol prism, this analyzer can be rotated with the help of certain screws which are present over here in this instrument, and we have a circular scale. So there is a circular scale on the side of this eyepiece, so that will measure the angle. So this Nicol prism, the principal section of this Nicol prism, or you can call it as analyzer, can be rotated. So it can be rotated with the help of certain screws which are present on the sides, and the angle can be measured, the angle by which you are rotating this analyzer, that can be measured with the help of a circular scale which is attached with this eyepiece. So firstly we have a source of monochromatic light, and it is usually a sodium lamp. So sodium lamp emits the yellow light. So this source is placed at the focus of the convex lens. So this source is present at the focus of the convex lens so that the light which is coming from this source will go as parallel light. And then we have a polarizer. As we have shown this, we have represented it by capital P. So this is the polarizer. This is just a Nicol prism. Now emerging light will be plane polarized. The light which is coming out of this polarizer will be plane polarized light. And after that we have Lorentz half shade device. So this is a Lorentz half shade device. Its construction and working will be discussed just in a minute. And after that we have a glass tube T. So this is a glass tube in which we fill a solution of the optically active substance. So it contains the solution of optically active substance like the sugar solution. And after that we have an analyzer, that is nothing but a Nicol prism. And then we have a telescope, which is represented by E, or you can say we have an eyepiece. So this analyzer can be rotated. This Nicol prism, it can be rotated about the axis of the tube. Now this is the axis of the tube. So the analyzer can be rotated about this axis. This can be rotated in this manner. The analyzer can be rotated about the axis of the tube, and its rotation can be measured. So by what angle we are rotating, that can be measured with vernier scale on the graduated circular scale. So we have a circular scale on which we can measure the angle. So the angle can be measured in degrees with the help of the circular scale which is attached with this telescope. Now we are going to see the construction and working of Lorentz half shade device, which we represented by H in the previous diagram. Now the Lorentz half shade device consists of a semicircular plate. So this Lorentz half shade device is actually in the form of a circular. It is a circular plate, but half of the region of this plate is made up of glass. So this region ADB, this region of the plate is made up of glass, and the other half of this circular plate is made up of quartz. So this half shade device is actually a circular plate, but this semicircular plate ADB, is made up of glass, and we cement the another half which is made up of quartz. So we cement the quartz plate and the glass plate together in this manner. So this is called as the Lorentz half shade device, and keep in mind that Lorentz half shade device, in this case, the thickness of the plate is decided in such a manner that this quartz plate acts as a half wave plate. So we know that quartz is a birefringent material. So whenever a plane polarized light falls on a quartz crystal, the two orthogonal components of the electric field will travel with different velocities because they will face a different refractive index inside the birefringent material quartz. So therefore, both the orthogonal components, they will travel with different velocities, and hence a path difference is introduced between the two orthogonal components. So this is what is the functioning of a phase retardation plate which we discussed in the previous lectures. So in this case we have used a quartz plate, and its thickness, the thickness of the quartz plate, so it is actually a three-dimensional plate. So its thickness will be decided such that the quartz plate acts as a half wave plate. Means it will introduce a path difference of lambda by 2, or you can say a phase difference of pi. So this plate of quartz will introduce a path difference of lambda by 2, or you can say a phase difference of pi between the two orthogonal components of the electric field. So this quartz is a birefringent material, and we cut this quartz crystal with its optic axis parallel to the line of separation AOB. So this is the line of separation between quartz and the glass plate, and we cut this quartz crystal in such a manner that the optic axis, as we know that the birefringent materials, they have an optic axis. So we cut the quartz crystal in such a manner that its optic axis is parallel to the line of separation AOB. So in this case, the quartz plate which we are using, its optic axis is parallel to this line of separation AOB, and its thickness is decided such that it acts as a half wave plate. The thickness of the quartz plate is such that it behaves as a half wave plate. Now let's suppose, as we have seen in the previous diagram, that firstly the unpolarized light is made to fall on a Nicol prism, which acts as the polarizer, and after the polarizer the light is made to fall on a half shade device. Means a plain polarized light is made to fall on the half shade device. So what happens in this case? So let's suppose that we have a Nicol prism. We have a Nicol prism at the back of the half shade device. We have the Nicol prism. Now the plain polarized light is coming from the polarizer, means the Nicol prism, and it is falling on the half shade device. And let's suppose the light which is coming out of the Nicol prism has its vibrations of electric field in this direction. So the light which is coming from the Nicol prism and it is falling on the half shade device is a plain polarized light, because Nicol prism polarizes the light. So we are supposing that the light coming from the Nicol prism and which is falling on the half shade device has its vibrations of electric field in this direction. So in this direction, as I have shown over here, this is the direction of the vibration of the electric field. So the light which will be falling on the half shade plate will have its vibrations of electric field in this manner. So this is what I have shown. By this yellow arrow I have shown the vibration of the electric field. Now the glass plate over here, this half of the half shade device, this half portion is a glass. It is made up of glass and it is not a birefringent material. So the light which is falling on this glass plate will come out as it is of this half shade device. So firstly the plain polarized light which is coming from the Nicol prism is falling on the half shade device, and after that the light will fall on the glass tube in which the optically active substance is present. So we are seeing what is the working of this half shade device. So the light which is falling on the glass plate will come out as it is, because glass is not a birefringent material and hence no phase will be introduced. So the vibration of the electric field will remain as it is. The light which is coming out of the glass plate, out of this half portion of the half shade device, will have its vibrations of electric field in this direction only, in its original direction. But when the same light is falling on this half portion of the plate, when it is falling on this portion is made up of quartz, and quartz is a birefringent material. So it will introduce a phase difference of pi, or you can say it will introduce a path difference of lambda by 2. So originally the vibrations of electric field, they are in this direction. So the light which is coming from the Nicol prism and it is falling on the half shade device has its vibrations in this direction as shown. So the same light will also fall on the quartz crystal, the half wave plate. So the same light will fall on this quartz plate, this half wave plate of quartz. But what will be the light which will emerge out of this half wave plate? So half wave plate works in a manner that the light which comes out of the half wave plate will have the vibrations, the orthogonal components or the orthogonal vibrations will have a phase difference of pi which is introduced by the wave plate. So this is the working of a half wave plate. Now the original vibrations of the light, of the electric field of the incoming light, is in this direction, and if the same light falls on this quartz crystal, the light which will come out of this quartz crystal will now have its vibrations in this direction. So the light which is coming out of the quartz, or you can say the half wave plate, will have its vibrations in this direction. Earlier the vibrations were in this direction. The light which is falling on the quartz portion, the portion which is made up of quartz, when it is falling on the quartz portion, its vibrations are in this direction, but the light when it will come out of the quartz plate, out of the half wave plate made up of quartz, it will have its vibrations in this direction, because the quartz plate is made up of, it its thickness is decided in such a way that it acts as a half wave plate. So it will introduce a phase difference of pi. So if previously vibrations were in this direction, when the light will emerge out of the quartz plate, now its vibrations will be in this direction. So now the light which is coming out of this glass plate, the light which is emerging out of this glass plate will have its vibrations in this direction. All the light rays will have the vibrations of the electric field in this direction only. But the light which is coming out of the quartz plate, which acts as the half wave plate, the light which will come out of this plate will have the vibrations of electric field in this direction, because a phase difference of pi has been introduced. So the vibrations I have shown in this manner. So the vibrations are represented by OQ arrow of the light which is coming out of the quartz plate, and OP is the vibration of the electric field of the light which is coming out of the glass plate. So now we have two types of light rays. One is polarized in this direction, and another light which is coming out of the quartz wave plate. The quartz plate has the vibrations in this direction. So all the light rays which are emerging out of the quartz plate will have vibrations in the direction OQ, and the other light rays which are emerging out of the glass plate will have the vibration of electric field in the direction of OP. So suppose the light, after passing through the polarizer P, the Nicol prism P, is incident normally on the half shade plate and has vibrations along OP. So this is the original vibration of the light ray, vibration of the electric field of the light ray which is emerging out of the Nicol prism. So its original direction is along OP. On passing through this glass plate, half the vibrations will remain along OP. So half of the light, so if we have some light rays falling on this half shade device, then 50% of the light rays will have vibrations in this direction, and 50% of the light rays which are coming out of this half shade device will have vibrations in this direction. So on passing through the glass, half of the vibrations will remain along OP, so they will remain along OP in this direction. But on passing through the quartz plate, the vibrations will be along OQ. So when the light will emerge out of the quartz, their vibrations of electric field will be along OQ, as pi phase is introduced between the two orthogonal components. Angle POA, in this case, this angle POA angle will be exactly equal to QOA. So this angle will be exactly equal to this angle. Now if the plane principal section of the analyzer, the Nicol prism which acts as the analyzer, is parallel to OP, as we know that this is the principal section of a Nicol prism. So in this case, the principal section of Nicol prism is in the plane of the paper. So when an unpolarized light falls on a Nicol prism, we know that only the vibrations which are parallel to the principal section survive. So only those vibrations survive. The other vibration gets internally reflected inside the Nicol prism. So that is the functioning of Nicol prism. Now we have, so firstly we have a half shade device, and then we have a glass tube. So that this light which is emerging out of the half shade device passes through the glass tube. So let's suppose that we have not inserted a glass tube yet, or you can say that we just have water in the glass tube, because water will not rotate the plane of polarization. So if you have a sugar solution, then only we will have a rotation in the plane of the polarization. So let's suppose that in the glass tube we have placed water. So there is a filtered water in the glass tube. So the light which is coming out of this half shade device will pass through the glass tube as it is, and then it will reach the analyzer, the another Nicol prism. So let's suppose if the analyzer the principal section of the analyzer is parallel to OP. Now we can rotate the principal section of the analyzer as we have screws which are attached on the sides of the eyepiece. So when the principal section of the analyzer is parallel to OP, so when it is parallel to OP, or you can say it is in the direction of OP, so we can rotate the principal section of the analyzer. Now let's suppose that at one point the principal section is parallel to OP. Then the light which is coming, the light ray which has its vibrations in this direction, will pass as it is from the Nicol prism. So let's suppose we are supposing that the analyzer has its principal section parallel to OP. So it is in this direction. Then what will happen, that this light ray, the light ray which has its vibrations of electric field parallel to OP in this direction, will pass through the analyzer as it is, and then it will reach our eye. So in that case what will happen, that this portion of the glass plate will appear to us as bright. So this portion will appear to us as bright, because the principal section of Nicol prism is parallel to OP, means all the light rays which are coming out of the glass plate will pass through the analyzer as it is, because the light which is coming out of the glass plate has the vibrations of electric field in this direction, and principal section of the analyzer is also in this same direction. So all the light rays which are coming out of the glass plate will pass through the analyzer as it is, and then it will reach our eye. So when you will see through the eyepiece of this instrument, you will see that this portion of the glass plate will appear to you as bright, whereas this other half of the half shade device will appear to you as dark. So this portion will appear to you as dark, because when the principal section of the analyzer is parallel to OP, all the light rays which are coming out of the glass plate will pass through the analyzer as it is, and it will reach our eye. Whereas the vibrations which are coming out of the quartz, the vibrations of the electric field, are in this direction. So it will make a certain angle with the principal section of the analyzer. So it will make a certain angle. So let's say it makes a theta angle. So this will be the angle which will be made by the vibrations of electric field coming out of the quartz crystal with the principal section of the analyzer, because principal section of the analyzer is in this direction. So this will be the angle made by the vibrations of the electric field coming out of the quartz crystal. So intensity of the light will be reduced. So the light which is coming out of the quartz crystal and then it is passing through the analyzer, so the emerging light ray will have its intensity reduced by certain amount, and its intensity will be given by Malus law, because vibration is making a certain angle with the polarizing axis, or you can say the principal section of the analyzer. So it is making a certain angle. So by Malus law you can find the intensity of the light ray. So the light ray, the plane polarized light through the glass half, this glass half of the half shade device, so plane polarized light through the glass half passes through the analyzer, and hence this portion of the half shade device will appear to us as a bright. It will appear brighter as compared to the other portion. Now the quartz half, the light which is coming from the quartz half and it is passing through the same analyzer, through the same position of the analyzer, will be partially obstructed, and its intensity can be easily found out using the Malus law. Therefore, the other half of the half shade device will appear to us as a dark comparatively. So this will be brighter as compared to this portion. Now we are taking the another position of the analyzer, means we are rotating the analyzer. So earlier the principal section of the analyzer was along OP. So in that case, this half of the half shade device will appear to us brighter as compared to the other half. But when the principal section of the analyzer is along OQ, so what happens in that case? So when it is along OQ, then the vibrations of the electric field which are along this direction will pass through the Nicol prism, and these vibrations, they will be partially obstructed. So now we will have the reverse situation. So if the principal plane or the principal section of the Nicol prism which is acting as an analyzer is parallel to OQ, then the quartz half will appear brighter than the glass half. So the reasoning is the same as we did in the previous case. So now this half will be, the quartz half will be brighter as compared to the glass half. Now if the principal section of the Nicol prism is parallel to AOB, so this was AOB. So when the principal section is parallel to OP, then this half will appear brighter. When the principal section of Nicol prism is parallel to OQ, then this half will appear brighter. Now what if the principal section of the Nicol prism is parallel to AOB? So it is parallel to AOB. In that case, so let's suppose that this angle is less than this angle. So we are just supposing that this angle is less than this angle, and in other case also this angle is less than this angle. So let's suppose if this is 60 degrees, this is 30 degrees, and similar is over here, this is 30 degrees and this is 60 degrees. So we are just supposing that this angle is less than this angle. So when the principal section is parallel to AOB, in that case what happens? So when it is parallel to AOB, the vibration which was along OP, the vibrations which was along OP will make a certain angle with the principal section of the Nicol prism, and similar is the case with OQ. So OQ will make a certain angle with the principal section of the Nicol prism. So the intensity of the light which will pass through the analyzer in that case will be given by Malus law. So intensity of the light which is coming out will be equal to I naught into cos square theta, and since these two angles are the same, the angle which is made by this vibration with the principal section of the Nicol prism is same as that of the angle which is made by this vibration with the same Nicol prism, with the same principal section of the Nicol prism. So if this is 30 degree angle, and this will also be 30 degrees angle. So in that case, the intensity of the light which is coming out of the analyzer, the intensity of the light which is coming out of that analyzer will be the same. So I naught cos square theta will be the intensity of both the vibrations which are coming out of the Nicol prism, and in this case the principal section of the Nicol prism is parallel to AOB. So intensity of the emergent light will be given by the Malus law. So if the principal section of the Nicol is parallel to AOB, if it is parallel to AOB, then two halves will appear equally bright. So in that case, the two halves will be having the same intensity. So they will appear to be equally bright. And here I have supposed that this theta angle, this angle is less than this angle. So if this is 30 degrees, this will be 60 degrees, and same is in the other situation also. So this angle is less than this angle. So in that case, the intensity of the light which is coming out of the analyzer will have same intensity. So the two light rays will have the same intensity, and the two halves will appear equally bright. So the intensity will be the same, therefore two halves will appear equally bright when you will view the half shade device from the eyepiece of the polarimeter. Because the vibrations emerging out of the two halves, are equally inclined, because they are equally inclined means the intensity of the emergent light out of the analyzer will have the same intensity, and hence the two components will have equal intensity. Now what happens when the principal section of the Nicol prism is parallel to CD? When it is parallel to COD, what happens in that case? So Now when the principal section of the Nicol prism was parallel to this vibration, then this half appeared brighter as the other one, and when the principal section of the Nicol prism was parallel to this one, then this half appeared brighter as compared to another. Now when the principal section is parallel to AOB, in that case both halves appeared equally bright, and here we have supposed that this angle is less than this angle. Now what happens when the principal section is parallel to COD? In that case also the two vibrations will make equal angle with the principal section, and the intensity will again be given by Malus law. But in this case this angle is greater than this one, means the intensity in this case will be less as compared to the previous case which we supposed. So when the principal plane of the analyzer is at right angle to AOB, or you can say it is parallel to COD, then again the two halves will be equally illuminated. In that case also two halves of the half shade device will appear to us equally illuminated. They will have same intensity because the angle which is made by the vibrations will be the same. But in this case this angle is greater than this angle, so intensity will be reduced as compared to the previous case. So intensity will be given by Malus law, but now theta angle will be more. Therefore the two halves in this case will appear equally dark. The two halves will appear equally dark when the principal section is parallel to COD. So they will appear equally dark. Now in the case of half shade polarimeter, we take the readings for equally dark position. So what do? Firstly we rotate the principal section of the analyzer, and as we rotate, the intensity of the light, the intensity of the two halves will change. As you rotate, the intensity will change. So first, if the principal section is parallel to this direction, then this half will appear brighter and this will appear dark. And when the principal section is parallel to this direction, then this half will appear brighter as compared to other one, and when the plane is parallel to AOB, then both halves will appear equally bright, and when the principal section is parallel to COD, then both halves will appear equally dark. And as you are rotating, you look for the position when two halves appear equally dark. In the case of half shade polarimeter, we look for a position when two halves appear equally dark. So we look for this condition. That is, we look when the principal section is parallel to COD. So we take the readings for equally dark position. So what is the procedure of finding the angle of rotation in the case of half shade polarimeter? So what is the procedure? Firstly, what do is we fill the glass tube with pure water. With filtered water, we fill the glass tube and we rotate the analyzer in that case, and we obtain this position. So as you will rotate, you will get a position when both halves will appear equally dark. So firstly, you place the glass tube. After the half shade device, we have a glass tube, and that glass tube is filled with pure water or filtered water at first, and we rotate the analyzer with the help of the screws, and we take the position, we look for the position when two halves appear equally dark, and we measure the angle which is given at the circular scale. So we measure the angle, we calculate the angle from the scale which is given on the side of the analyzer. So we measure the angle at which two equally dark position is obtained. And after that, we fill the tube with the optically active substance. So we fill the tube, let's suppose, with sugar solution. So we mix a solution in filtered water, and then we place that tube. So we fill sugar solution in pure water and we fill that solution in the glass tube, and there must not be any air bubble. So you have to keep in mind that there must not be any air bubble when you are filling the glass tube. So that will give you incorrect readings if you have any air bubble. So we fill the sugar solution in the glass tube. Now sugar solution is an optically active substance. So the light which is coming out of the half shade device, when it will pass through the optically active substance, the vibrations will be rotated by a certain angle. So let's suppose this vibration which is coming out of the glass plate, and it is coming into the glass tube, and these vibration, let's suppose they are rotated by a certain angle in this direction. So we are just supposing that the vibration OP is rotated in this direction when the light will pass through the optically active substance or the sugar solution in this case. So similar angle of rotation will be in this OQ. So OQ will also rotate in this direction by the same amount of angle. So when these two vibrations will pass through the sugar solution, the light which will come out of the glass tube will have the vibrations of electric field rotated by a certain angle. So let's say now the vibrations are in this direction and the other vibration is also rotated by certain amount of angle and it is in this direction. So now this is the vibration which is coming out of the which is coming from this half plate, and this is the vibration which is coming out of this plate when the light will pass through the glass tube. So now when we fill the glass tube with sugar solution, the light coming out of the glass tube will have the vibrations of electric field rotated by a certain angle. So now again we will rotate the analyzer. We will again rotate the analyzer and we will find a position in which we get equally dark position of the analyzer. So two halves must be equally dark. So we again find the position of the analyzer and again we measure the angle. So let's suppose when you had first filled the glass tube with pure water, with filtered water, and the angle at the circular scale which you measured was θ1 for this equally dark position. And then you filled the glass tube with sugar solution. After that, the vibrations, they were rotated by a certain angle. So this position, the equally dark position, will be obtained at another angle. So now let's suppose the equally dark position is obtained at θ2 angle. So when you will subtract these two angles, you will get the angle by which the vibration has rotated, the vibration of electric field has rotated after passing through the optically active substance. So difference between these two will give you the rotation. So difference will give us the optical rotation theta. And from here we can find the concentration or the specific rotation. So whatever quantity you want to find, you can find it from this formula, and this formula we have already done in the case of specific rotation. So using this experiment, you find the theta angle, and then you can either find the concentration if you know the specific rotation, and this is the length of the tube. And if you know the specific rotation, you can find concentration, and if you know the concentration, you can find the specific rotation of that material. So this is how you can find either concentration or specific rotation by finding the optical rotation theta using the half shade device or using the half shade polarimeter. Now why do we take equally dark position in this case, and why don't we take equally bright position? This is because our eyes can easily detect a slight change in this position. So when you are rotating the analyzer, let's suppose you have got this position. After that, if you will rotate it further, one half will start appearing brighter and another half will be appearing to us as dark. So a slight rotation can easily make us to detect a slight change in the intensity. So our eyes can easily detect a slight change. So this position is very accurate, and we can measure this very accurate with human eye. Whereas in this case, equally bright position, in this case when you will rotate the analyzer further, one half will start appearing to us as dark. It will just start appearing to us as dark, but that position is very difficult to find out. So when you will actually do this experiment, you will see that in this position you are not able to detect any slight change. But in this case, when one half will start appearing brighter, that we can easily detect with our eye. But in this case, when one half will start appearing to us as dark as you rotate the analyzer, that is very difficult to detect. So in this case, you do not get accurate results. But in this case, we can get accurate results. So this is how we find the optical rotation with the help of half shade polarimeter.